Most likely a couple days of less active weather for Texas before a cool front brings, you guessed it, thunderstorm chances back to the state by midweek. Let's talk about it in this Monday edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. Good morning. It is Monday, the 6th of May, 2024. I'm Texas Storm Chasers Bully-in-Chief David Reimer. We have had more than our fair share of stormy mischief over the last 8 to 9 days across not only Texas, but the plains of the United States. While we, hopefully, will be okie dokie today, our neighbors up north are not going to be so lucky. Let's just go ahead and take a look at the severe weather outlook. Now, we do have a chance for a severe storm or two this afternoon into tonight across the eastern Texas Panhandle, portions of northwest Texas, Texoma, and the Arklatex. In all likelihood, storms are going to struggle to develop south of the Red River because of a strong cap or lid on the atmosphere. If we are wrong about that and we have storms south of the Red River at any point tonight, well, really this afternoon through tonight, severe weather is likely, and that would be in the form of really big hail, damaging winds, the potential for a few tornadoes. But as you can see on this risk graphic, the risk drastically increases once you're north of the Red River across Oklahoma and Kansas, where a tornado outbreak once again is expected, with the potential for high impact, high-end tornadoes, giant hail larger than the size of softballs, and damaging straight line winds over 75 miles an hour. We in Texas, again, the way it looks now, it is going to be really close whether or not we actually have to deal with any of this. If we do, it is probably going to be right on the Red River this evening into late tonight. And again, the Storm Prediction Center has that potential highlighted. The far eastern Texas Panhandle, northwest Texas, Texoma, along the north of Highway 380, pretty much all the way from Throckmorton to Greenville up to Paris. And again, hopefully we don't have to do this today, but we can't completely rule out storms. The chance is probably 20% or less. And then once you're north of the Red River, it's not going to be a good day. If it's not careful, or there's parts of that may end up being a level 5, a high risk for a major tornado outbreak, a national news story. Hopefully not. Let's just show you. High-res rapid refresh model, here you go. This is this afternoon. You can see scattered supercells across western into central Oklahoma, well into tonight. You can even see storms continuing well into late tonight. The potential for, well, what happened a week ago Saturday, where we could still have tornadic supercells at 11 o'clock across portions of central, southern, northeastern Oklahoma, producing, long track, significant tornadoes, in addition to, flooding rains, damaging winds, and hail. And that potential even extends up into parts of Kansas. Again, this model specifically does not develop storms in the state of Texas, but it is going to be really close. And again, we have a few showers and storms this afternoon, the eastern third of Texas. Those should be okie dokie. Those should not be doing the whole spinny doom thing. Those storms in Oklahoma and Kansas this afternoon and tonight, whole different story. I think nearly every team member we have is going to be up in Oklahoma today chasing. And again, we're going to keep a real close eye on Texoma and the Texas side of the Red River, but hopefully this is not a Texas issue. Not that it's really any better for our neighbors in Oklahoma, but we're a Texas channel, you kind of get the point. Now, let's take a look beyond the storm chances. You could see, we're going to have clouds and fog southeastern half of Texas tonight, just like we had a bunch of clouds and misty garbage this morning, which, it beats drought. So, okay. Tuesday, probably going to be quiet across the state. There is a small chance of a storm in northeast Texas. It's going to be really stinking humid the eastern half of the state tomorrow afternoon into Tuesday night. And then let's get into Wednesday, because yes, the chance for some severe storms has increased. Now looks like a cool front, dry line combination. The real difference here is, it's kind of an actual legit cool front. The chance for scattered severe storms Wednesday afternoon into Wednesday night. Texoma, North Texas, Central Texas, the Brazos Valley, East Texas, Northeast Texas, the Arklatex. Main issues here, potential for large to very large hail because pretty much we're going to be Florida in terms of the amount of moisture we're going to have is going to be absolutely abhorrent. But that also means the atmosphere is going to be crazy unstable, meaning giant chunks of ice falling out of the sky with strong storms and the potential for damaging straight line winds. Maybe a low tornado threat. It doesn't look like a big crazy tornado threat on Wednesday at this point. And then those storms will continue into Wednesday night, and then the cool front will move a little further south on Thursday with the potential for thunderstorms capable of some hail and high winds across portions of the Concho Valley, the Hill Country, Central Texas, South Central Texas, the Brazos Valley, and East Texas. But hopefully not a, crazy tornado situation like the last week. Hail, wind, unpleasant, but we can deal with that. Tornadoes like we dealt with most of last week, that's enough of that. We don't need anything like that. We don't need to be dealing with what Oklahoma and Kansas are probably going to be dealing with this afternoon and tonight. Enough. We still got all of May to go through. We'll probably be dealing with our fair share of spinny, doom tornado issues again later this month when the pattern switches back into that phase. But for now, let's just stop. All right. Okay. Yeah, pretty much. All right. Here's the forecast rain totals over the next 5 days. This is today through 7 a.m. Friday. You can see, unlike last week, we don't have big, scary yellow, red colors on the map. That's a nice change. Now, we may see some increase as we get a bit closer into midweek and confidence increases on where we're going to be dealing with storms. But hey, you know what? At this point, we're forecasting 1/4 to 1 inch of rain. Arklatex, East Texas, northeastern Brazos Valley, eastern North Texas, the potential for a few hundredths to a tenth of an inch across parts of North Texas. That's a whole lot better than what we dealt with last week. There may be some increase in this as we get into midweek if it looks like we're going to have, a more solid line of storms. But at this point, this would not be a widespread exacerbation of flooding across the state. Yeah, we'd see some, minor rises on creeks and streams and rivers, but, this isn't going to cause, another giant flood wave down multiple tributaries into southeast Texas. But we'll keep an eye on it. It is definitely looking much less active this week than last week, even with the chance for some rowdy storms by midweek and today's conditional risk of an issue in Texoma, northwest Texas. And again, we're going to have to watch that carefully. I want to emphasize, if we have storms south of the Red River this evening, they are going to be quite rowdy. We are just hoping we don't. Please, and thank you. Today's high temperature forecast. It's going to be in the 80s. Texoma, North Texas, the Arklatex, East Texas, Southeast Texas, the Panhandle, the borderland, far west Texas, the Hill Country. Everyone else is in the 90s. Yep. Tomorrow, it's worse. Let's just go ahead and say upper 80s to upper 90s, southern 75 to 80% of Texas. Triple digits, the Edwards Plateau, the Rio Grande Plains. And it's going to be extremely humid the eastern half of Texas, so heat index values will probably be above 100 degrees. Wednesday, just bump it up into the triple digits, not only low triple digits, but we're talking 100 to 108. Deep South Texas, the Rio Grande Plains, the Edwards Plateau, and the Edwards Plateau. Even parts of South Central Texas may be approaching 100. I'm looking at you, San Antonio. Upper 80s to lower 90s. Southern 75% of Texas, DFW making around 90 on Wednesday. The cool front's starting to push in. And again, 70s in the Panhandle. And now you can see why, pretty warm, quite humid. Southern 80, about southern 2/3 of Texas on Wednesday. That's why we have a risk of storms when that cool front starts moving in. And then here's Thursday. You can definitely see that cool front starting to make progress. Highs only in the 70s to around 80 northern half of the state, south. It's going to be in the 90s, 2 triple digits. We know 107 on Thursday in McAllen, 106 in Laredo, 102 in Del Rio. Ouchies. Temperatures in the 90s in Houston on Thursday, with dew point temperatures in the mid to upper 70s, means the heat index will probably be near 105. But worry not, as we go into Friday. Highs, northern 2/3 of Texas, 70s, lower 80s, 85 in Houston, lower humidity, 84 in San Antonio. That beats the near 100-degree readings earlier in the week. Even deep South Texas, the Edwards Plateau, the Rio Grande Plains, lower 90s really beats almost 110 degrees. So we'll take it. All right, that's going to be your Texas weather roundup on this Monday, the 6th of May. Again, we're going to have to keep a close eye on storm chances along the dry line in northwest Texas, maybe even the big country this afternoon in Texoma. Hopefully the cap holds, but again, it's going to be a busy severe weather day across Oklahoma, Kansas, and if we see even a few storms in Texas, those storms are going to be very rowdy later today and tonight. We will have storm chasers out and about across, well, pretty much mostly Oklahoma, hopefully, unless it does look like we're going to have issues in Texas. We'll have live streaming storm chase video on the Texas Storm Chasers YouTube channel, probably social media when things get going, and website and mobile app. And then, of course, well, later this week, we'll be watching things as well. We'll have the next regular Texas weather roundup bright and early 6 a.m. Tuesday, sooner if necessary. As always, you can get your local weather forecast, interactive weather radars, your daily Texas weather roundups, live severe weather coverage when necessary, and more in the free Texas Storm Chasers mobile app. And of course, you can find us on the web, texasstormchasers.com. Y'all have a good Monday. We'll chat with you later. God bless.